Part 1. Buoyancy. All your better deeds shall be in water writ. Francis Beaumont and John Fletcher. Chapter 1. Toshio. Finns had been making wisecracks about human beings for thousands of years. They had always found men terribly funny. The fact that humanity had recently meddled with their genes and taught them engineering hadn't done much to change their attitude. Finns were still smart Alecs. Toshio watched the small instrument panel of his sea sled, pretending to check the depth gauge. The sled thrummed along at a constant 10 meters below the surface. There were no adjustments to be made, yet he concentrated on the panel as Kipiru swam up alongside, doubtless to start another round of teasing. "Little hands, whistle!" The sleek gray cetacean did a barrel roll to Toshio's right, then drew nearer to eye the boy casually. "Whistle us a tune about ships and space and going home." Kipiru's voice, echoing from a complex set of chambers under his skull, rumbled like the groaning of a bassoon. He could just as well have imitated an oboe or a tenor sax. "Well, little hands, where is your song?" Kipiru was making sure the rest of the party could hear. The other Finns swam quietly, but Toshio could tell they were listening. He was glad that Hikahi, the leader of the expedition, was far ahead scouting. It would be far worse if she were here and ordered Kipiru to leave him alone. Nothing Kipiru said could match the shame of being protected like a helpless child. Kipiru rolled lazily, belly up, next to the boy's sled, kicking slow fluke strokes to stay easily abreast of Toshio's machine. In the crystal-clear water of Kithrop, everything seemed strangely refracted. The coral-like peaks of the metal mounds shimmered as though mountains seen through the haze of a long valley. Drifting yellow tendrils of dangleweed hung from the surface. Kipiru's gray skin had a phosphorescent sheen, and the needle-sharp teeth in his long, narrow V mouth shone with a teasing cruelty that had to be magnified, if not by the water, then by Toshio's own imagination. How could a Finn be so mean? "Won't you sing for us, little hands? Sing us a song that will buy us all fish brew when we finally get off this so-called planet and find a friendly port. Whistle to make the dreamers dream of land." Above the tiny whine of his air recycler, Toshio's ears buzzed with embarrassment. At any moment he was sure Kipiru would stop calling him Little Hands and start using the new nickname he had chosen, Great Dreamer. It was bad enough to be taunted for having made the mistake of whistling when accompanying an exploration crew of Finns. They had greeted his absent-minded melody with raspberries and chittering derision. But to be mockingly addressed by a title almost always reserved for great musicians or humpback whales, it was almost more than he could bear. "I don't feel like singing right now, Kipiru. Why don't you go bother somebody else?" Toshio felt a small sense of victory in managing to keep a quaver out of his voice. To Toshio's relief, Kipiru merely squeaked something high and fast in gutter trinary, almost primal Delphin. That in itself was a form of insult. Then the dolphin arched and shot away to surface for air. The water on all sides was bright and blue. Shimmering Kithrupan fish flicked past with scaled backs that faceted the light like drifting frosted leaves. All around were the various colors and textures of metal. Morning sunshine penetrated the clear, steady sea to glimmer off the